And welcome back. So, I was switched to OBS, figured out some bitrate things. So the file size is more reasonable, and then I forgot to resize the screen, which is one of the main reasons I was swapping from Windows Game Bar because it was not resizing correctly. And there's a function to do that in OBS, but I forgot to hit the hotkey for that. So I apologize. The last video was not correctly sized. This one should be now. Now, I did some off-camera micro stuff. I can't remember if I saved since that, so I'll save. A few things I noticed. Democratic Republic of Prussia and the Kashubian Commune are both doing political effort, which will both likely lead to them going down the whole political tree and getting indoctrination, which will gain extra manpower. The way I see that is they're indoctrinating their population, and people are volunteering for the military rather than need to be conscripted. More than normally would be available with volunteer only. People volunteering in addition to the conscripts. I mean, that happened. Like in the U.S. in World War II, there are a lot of people who volunteered for the military because they believed strongly in the war. There were conscripts too, lots of them, but there were both. Now, I really like doing social welfare. Part of the whole reason I'm doing this communist, socialist Spartacus League path is because I think it's very nice that they can give women full rights and equality and expand social welfare. Real pragmatic, quantifiable improvements in people's lives. And while still protecting civil liberties and embracing democratic institutions. Some of you may disagree, but communism doesn't have to be authoritarian. The Soviet Union's a terrible example, although I have to reiterate, based on the long Russian history of authoritarian governments, it was actually a step forward. There was more participation of ordinary people in the Soviet political system than there was under like the Tsars. Admittedly, there was a very brief period of social democracy between the end of the Tsardom and the Russian Civil War, but it was premature, and there was no way that was going to endure. Kind of unfortunate, kind of like the Weimar Republic did not endure in Germany. That was a period of social democracy between the end of monarchy and unfortunately the Nazis taking power. Stupid glasses. Still haven't heard word of the replacement. They probably won't have it till a few more days, I'm guessing. I'll have to contact them because maybe they just won't bother. Take the insurance payment and not actually provide the glasses. That would stink. Now the thing is, I can't do this anyways, the expanded social welfare, because it modifies Politburo, and in a clear oversight from the devs, it doesn't add the Politburo national spirit if you haven't done any of these first. So the effect won't activate until you either embrace democratic institutions or take civil liberties. If you did state control of the economy, I'm trying to figure out how you would get that, because you're supposed to be able to have it on either path. This is not exclusive. Modify Volksverke, modify Politburo. This is a clear bug, and the devs really should fix that, because you should be getting Politburo on both paths. Oh, add Politburo. Okay, they get it right when they choose their initial focus. All right, never mind. That's fine. Still, this should give me, if this is the first thing I do that relates to Politburo, but it doesn't work, so all I begin is stability and political power. I really need industry. Now, instead of trying to push here, and probably, even if I take a province, gain counterattack like crazy to hold my divisions till Amsterdam can be reinforced, with tons of divisions just sitting here. It looks like there's even some medium or heavy tanks, though they probably don't have actual tanks for the divisions yet. They like to convert everything the moment they either start production or sometimes before they even start production, as soon as they get the tech. It's annoying, it's stupid. AI It's why their tanks suck. People think their tank divisions suck. It's not really that their templates are so bad or their tank designs, is that they don't actually produce them. The best tank is a tank that's actually there. Anyways, rather than I am training a bunch of additional tank divisions beyond these, and while this large force could probably eventually push in here, it's going to take a long time. I'm going to try and aim for control of the skies and drop paratroopers right into Amsterdam. The AI isn't great about defending their cities to the rear, and to be fair, if they pulled even a few divisions in the front, I'd be able to push them even with what I've got, especially if I diverted some divisions from elsewhere. I took a risk not defending the Danish border, maybe weaken the grouping in Ostmark, maybe hold these divisions here that are holding the Italian counteroffensive as long as I can. I could definitely capitulate them, and that would do their whole faction. So, yeah. I don't know. They should have strategized ahead to have more infantry equipment and had some rear, but I'm almost positive they won't be defending Amsterdam. They might have men in The Hague, however, because that's port, or Rotterdam because it's coastal. So they may have divisions in immediately adjacent areas, but if I drop paratroopers into Amsterdam and can hold for 24 hours, they'll capitulate. However, I need air superiority, so lots of fighters, because if they see me planning, and I think they do get a warning, they'll scramble lots of fighters, and I won't actually be able to do the para drop, or won't be able to drop anything with everything get shot down. There's lots of fighters in the European Union faction, so gonna greatly do a little flack because these more modern anti-air guns will help shoot down more aircraft, and I'll need control of the skies in the long run. This will disappear. This is just a bug from reloading the save up. And if I'll continue to get funding for Amatal. I'm not going too hard on these because I'm actually going to go right for Artillery 3, which I already can do without being ahead of time very soon. So I'm not going to produce a ton of Artillery 2. So my next up, I'm going to start massively upscaling production of fighter aircraft, and then transport planes. It's going to take a while to have enough, and I don't even have paratroopers yet, though. I'll take the focus for that. It's a bit of a longer run thing, but it'd be a very useful thing to work out, getting the tech and stuff for fighting the Soviets. Just simply dropping right behind the front line to cut off supply routes can be immensely useful if I can get air superiority. So, let's go. Oh yeah, I asked these guys for military access. Eventually they'll build an air base through focus, and that will allow me to fly planes in and out of their air base. Not so neutral, really. This was the area I could have made a puppet, but instead, yeah, I don't know who's vengeful on, and someday they'll be fascist, but they're communists for now. A lot of fascist support in Estonia, unfortunately, in this. I mean, these guys will be flipping fascist again, and this guy, yeah. This is Estonia, Finland, and I guess it's a bunch of Estonian government officials who moved up there. I'll ask for non-aggression pact, improve relations, increase the odds of them buying stuff from me. They don't have a port yet, though. And I don't think they know if they are smart enough to build a naval base. They can't. There's no land route between me and them because of all this. While Latvia is neutral, everything else here is hostile. But once I capitulate the Dutch and all this no longer hostile to me, I'll be able to trade with them. So, or sooner if they build a naval base and want to buy my resources, because their convoys won't be raided buying from me. The Romanian oil thing, still not working out. Alright. this one's complete because Thuringen, I noticed, is working on infrastructure probably. Need to remember to come here and swap this down. Wait to do the next factory in the line and work on Saxony instead, which is so far from infrastructure focus being complete. I mean, they might do this next, but it's like 100 days and I need factories now. I have to think more short term if I'm going to win this war. Kesselring leveled up. And I don't think he rolled the extra trait points. He's got 20. He'd have 2 from traits and 4 base. Let's see, 6. So that would be 14 in each level up. No, actually he did roll the meticulous preparation. Otherwise he would have, he has a total of 20 trait points. He would have 6 plus 12, he would have 18. So yeah, he rolled meticulous preparation, that's good. He has more planning logistics than he would otherwise have. Logistics are very important because I've got logistics problems in a few places. Not right now, but they pop up from time to time. Right now, I'm barely meeting the logistics demand here. These motorized. We don't want, Turks are a bit more expensive, and I don't think these guys dig in as deeply. It's like these. Oh, these guys aren't training anymore. Nope. Let's reassign them. Boom. They're here in case of reinforcements, but they're also guarding this board in case I'm very wrong and somehow Bavaria, maybe they just via standard invite decide to join the EU. They could do that. They could do that, but I have divisions close enough here to rush to the Prussian border if Kingdom Prussia does that. I know about the rubber shortage. Buying more rubber from France when I get my next factory. January 15th. Cool. 1942 is about to roll around. Turn up the volume a little bit here. Here, I'm just doing what I can to try and delay the loss. Sometimes I do more damage than they do, sometimes they do more, but I'm grinding down the enemy, gaining experience for my general, too. Lensky will soon be a combined arms expert instead of specialist in my military command. I need that buff if I'm gonna... Can't just use paratroopers. I mean, it's too risky. I'll probably prepare a push at the same time into Utrecht. Arnhem, Utrecht, and drop troops. If I do both, that's probably safer. Maybe drop some in these plains because they're probably undefended. So divisions don't suffer encirclement penalties, but yeah, we'll see. I really need some reconnaissance planes so I can see where the enemy divisions are. Oof, there's a lot of air combat going on here. It's not bad, I can see. France is providing most of the air power, looks like. So this is all... French have 1,450 fighters. It's good, they've been producing them. Previous versions, they didn't. Alpine region, I've got these casts. There's enemy fighters trying to intercept them, which is why it's useful. They're faster than bombers. cheaper too. More air defense relative to their cost. Most are relying on not getting detected. It's not like radar's likely to be in the area yet. These guys are flying through here, risking getting detected because they weren't getting full coverage from that airbase. From Belgrade to Sofia. But I really do need more of all aircraft. Oh yeah, this is probably important. I designed a template that makes use of Rangers and has line artillery, which I've been waiting to do for a while. I grabbed my own artillery doctrine. So the Rangers are good for that. I could go for this to upgrade my paratroopers and Marines, but probably gonna need army experience to reform some templates some more. I've not been messing with templates. We'll see. I also want to eventually swap this for logistical focus for well-planned attack. Some point when I'm ready to go on the offensive. We'll see. Schultz is defending quite successfully. Also, Henrique is close to leveling up. If he gets to level 6, I might turn him. No, it's not worth it. So I already have Halder, infantry guy. I mean, Shermer. I really do need this Eisenhuth. So maybe eventually turn him into an armor specialist once he's got Panzer Leader. It's like level 4. Now eventually he'll become an expert with training. Lensky can't do that because he's already combined arms. Alright. I need that oil again. Should not be bugging out anymore. I get a little more progress in SRM, so that's good. Probably need to remember to push this down so that I don't waste effort. Anyhow. And I need still more oil. Iran will sell me some. And Turkey, until they get invaded or something by the Soviets. Or the British. The British will still sell me oil. But importantly, the British have a focus here. Exposed by the peace, they can still take this even if they have a non-aggression pact. The Soviets, they just can't actually declare war. But then they can invade Iran in preparation for attacking the Soviet Union. Iran and Afghanistan, so yeah. Because they're not in a line, they'll just annex Iran at that point, which will force... They'll bring the oil back to London. I'll have to buy it from there, which means sea route and all this naval raiding makes the convoys won't actually get through. Oh, jeez, they deorged these tanks. Trying like heck here to hold off the enemy. But put him here and then bring him here if need be. There's a chance they get some aircraft support. These guys. Right now they're supporting this battle. It's a struggle just to hold the river line against the constant Soviet onslaught. Well, the Soviets must be taking casualties from this. Yeah, already 325 casualties. This has been a bloody war. What's with it? Extremely bloody, extremely unnecessary. I guess the EU one I was going to fight. The necessary part is the Soviet casualties, which is only 325,000. You guys better go here and reorganize. Deter further attacks on yourselves. Idea is if they get here, that means that Wesley could attack this province. Battle just got even worse. Alright. Just waiting a day also so they won't lose planning. There we go. In case at some point I decide to go for an attack. I mean, problem is in 3 combats. Oh, here as well. They might eventually get pushed. I mean, at least to make them pay, they're fully entrenched. But the Italians just keep coming with more people. Where's my air support? Oh, they decided to aid this fight instead. It's just not enough. I mean, Italy is pushing the French back out of their core territory, where they have combat bonuses. We'll see if they can keep pushing beyond Piedmont, though. The French have bonuses in their core territory. That's what war support does if it's high, which it is for especially the Italians. French still haven't chosen a political direction, though. I'm glad they're doing tanks. Tank stuff they need to improve their MIOs and their designs and everything. Cannot afford to have them unable to hold. Okay, it's gonna level up very soon. Got 2 infantry here. I thought someone must have fallen back who was... Maybe I moved him from here. I might hold the enemy eventually. They'll push through if I don't. Something doesn't give. Can't defend forever. Eventually the attacker gets lucky. I assume weight odds massively in your own favor. These guys can't even attack because they keep getting constantly attacked. The French, they don't have much. Nope, they're out of manpower. problem is to deal with that, they need to get the blue and violet proposal, encourage immigration, or confirm Eastern commitments and do the foreign guest workers, which actually they can't run that because they're at war with Poland. So what they really need is this. So we'll have them. It says only gains cores. It used to automatically annex Algeria. Or no, they already annexed what I'm saying. It's if it's a puppet. Yeah, of course, we could always end up doing the National Front poll. I dislike that because I don't need them going fascist on me, attacking me. Or bring Napoleon's descendant back. Napoleon the Fifth or whatever the heck he is. Alright. Actually hit harder in the attack than the offense. These guys. Unless I don't think he's going anywhere, I'm going to give one of them to Schultz. So I can hit a little harder if they're attacking, and maybe Schultz will lead the battle. Actually, I doubt it because he's offense oriented. Should still be Eberhard. I'm not sure I want Eberhard gaining Ranger before he gets infantry leader. Yeah, I'm gonna keep attacking here. So I'm gonna drop ones. Okay. Start moving along. I'll guarantee the Amiens doesn't fall. And it'll be Schultz leads next defense when they attack here again, inevitably. What I could do is grab these guys. It's not looking likely that I'm going to need to defend the Maginot. It's risky, but they're not even full strength yet, and they're training. Never mind that. This is the most frustrating thing. Just don't have enough men. Not enough industry. There we go. Logistics company in Opel has expanded. Did this, and I suppose it benefits trucks that are used for support companies. Don't want to mess with all-wheel drive. Instead, semi-machine guns aren't pulpit because that benefits mechanized as well. Someday I'll be switching to mechanized. Alright. I did that mainly for the purpose of upgrading Opel. When I've got a little surplus of trucks, I could start switching. Actually, you don't lose much production efficiency when you're just upgrading the design, I don't think. So I could start it sooner than that. It's annoying, so. Alright. I think I need to focus on artillery for a little bit. And I may get back to Opel. I may have armor pulp amount though by the time I making quite a lot of funds today, and we'll see. Probably being too careful. My use of Army XP. Anti-tank upgrades. No. Improved anti-air. That's probably more protection against bombing. Pave the way for even better anti-air. Also has improved heavy cannons and tanks if I was making tank destroyers. Not likely to be useful, but it gets autoloaders and lots of other cool stuff. Got to get Rheinmetall up to snuff. This will also make the support anti-air a little better. Now, probably I should go up sliding breach Brock, because this line, well, it's soft attack, also adds production cost, and just more artillery. I'll be able to mix in sliding breach Brock on the artillery 3 for sure this way. Anyhow. Assume it was these guys who did this. I don't know why he considers him a faction trader, but whatever. It could have also been my puppet if they got their hands on enough rifles to start training a division of their own. So non-aggression pack there. Take any equipment I can get. I don't even know what that is, but I'm sure unlike everything, Probably easier to see if I selected them. Yep. Trucks. Okay. A problematic thing is this. Bulgarians are going to annex Romania and Yugoslavia. So I have like longer term purchase agreements that will cancel with Romania. Yugoslavia will never get to develop the Pannonian oil deposits. And I'm hoping these divisions and generals just all transfer to Bulgarian ownership. Otherwise, the whole front will collapse because the idiot AI is too eager to annex its neighbors in the middle of a war. Oh well. And that will mean a lot more divisions suddenly hitting me here and coming up through here. Could be very bad. It better not cause all the Romanian and Yugoslavian divisions to vanish. That would be obnoxious and definitely a bug. Should be like Germany's Anschluss used to be in older versions of the game, where they'd get all the Austrian divisions. I don't know if they still do, but they should. Alright, this is still being lost, so I lose a little entrenchment if they go there. But I'm worried about this battle. I'm not worried about this one. So 902nd here to help with this battle. I need more oil. Why does it plays that song way too often? Jeez, there's very little to be had without sea routes. Oh. There's Indian oil. There's a Sultanate of Asa. And Ethiopia. Neutral unless Italy tries to attack them. Just have to grab anything I can. Austrian too. This basically naval blockade is a real pain. And of course this is why I've got one more reason I've got all these refineries in the works. I mean, most of the oil is at least used for my army. Land vehicles make more efficient use of oil than aircraft. But yeah, like Romania isn't doing their decisions to develop their oil deposits most likely. And they're suffering enemy bombing to boot. And they're about to be annexed by Bulgaria. It's just going to make things even worse, probably. Yeah, I've got another air wing training here because I had enough of the trainer aircraft for it. And, yep. Need to shoot down some enemy planes. refineries are not so much for oil as for synthetic rubber, but the oil is a nice side benefit of them. It's not insignificant the amount they provide. It's the quote right now, getting around maybe 4 oil from from 6 refineries. It's not much to speak of. It's not nothing, at least. Could get oil if I could just trade overseas, but where's the American assistance on freedom of navigation when I'm the one who needs oil? You know, and it's the Dutch who are blockading me. Of course, realistically, that was this excuse to side with the nations whose geopolitical interests aligned with America's ruling class. Not to say, in that case, it didn't do some good. It was used to, World War One, take down the Germans, and that's like, meh. Monarchies on both sides of that war. World War II obviously was used to stop the Nazis. Even if stuff about freedom of navigation was a bit of an excuse to take down evil like that. If an excuse is needed, then go ahead. Keep rotating tank divisions here, but where the bloody hell are the Romanian divisions? They pile them like everything up, Bulgarian, Romanian, right here on this mountain for God knows what reason. Guess there are a lot of Czech divisions nearby. Not that many though. Polish divisions, some. These guys are going to need to return here in preparation for, I'm going to need more air support along the server here. I'm going to lose it before too long. Producing all these fighters, but I won't be able to use them briefly to support paradrop over Dutch territory. A lot of them will just sit in hangars until then. It's going to be tough. It's actually this air zone. Pull them back here. Really? They don't have range from there? Or should they? Yeah, no, they'll just have to send Sophia fly supplies. Fun. Part of it is all these divisions and training. No, they don't all have a full complement of tanks. They do have trucks. Looks like they all have tanks now anyways. Some of them have garbage tanks. Oh, they're trying to cut these guys off. That may succeed in that. Oof. We have to pull back. Yep. Otherwise, they're getting encircled. It's time to pull back to... let's see if this gets pushed. There's troops here. Yep. Fall back to these mountains. Yep. Well, at least Iberia is solidly under hands of friendlies. This may not be on a faction, but they crushed the Soviet ally Portuguese. And they need to do that, otherwise... Although... I might actually want them to sit there for a bit. Give these guys a chance to fall back, or get driven back. Yeah, they'll fall back there anyways. Yeah, I'll leave a fallback line there for now. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this. Point these guys. This is prior to the Navy. Oh, probably want these guys to just go here. No, Cook 7's probably actually further out. I don't want wasting the fuel for them to move to Kashubia. I definitely don't have the fuel to be running training exercises anymore. Not to mention the Baltic is full of Polish mines. Which I don't have minesweepers and don't have the fuel to run minesweepers, so I'm just making a navy for the future. We gotta knock out the Dutch. Looks like this battle's finally over. These guys can place lost tanks and such. That's it? Only 272 men lost on my side, and surprisingly non-lethal battle, considering how long it went on. And I'm about to finally get driven out of here. These guys are like out of supplies anyhow. They're really just fighting as infantry, not trucks. Enough of that. Can't really hope to win there. They take these, get a supply hub at least. At this point, it's delaying action a little more. I'm going to do a coordinated withdrawal. This should be using like tactical withdrawal, but that doesn't happen. They coded all these tactical withdrawal tactics and they never get used. Where do I use a convoy for supply? Oh. Looks like it's actually for getting the one lease from these guys. give me support equipment, and I'm risking a single convoy to grab it. From the Sapimi, People's Republic of Sapimi. Eventually, after I finish all these lines, it's just going to be convoys for a bit. It can be sold. I'll need to rebuild after this war or some. Make up for lost industrial snowballing a little. Especially as I can actually need to convert civilian factories to mill. That's expensive. Might want to take that Becker to my high command for that. So if any of the rest is being able to do that conversion at reasonable cost will save me, help me get a lot more equipment in the field. And then I'll do the conversions way faster. Nope, you don't get to join the war. You just get capitulated. Do hope divisions don't disappear. Why did I have a convoy here? Where are they even going? Oh, they were grabbing Lend-Lease for my puppet. Risky business at best. Lend-Lease import from German Finland, but there's nothing. No, that's German Estonia. Finland. Oh yeah, they're giving me support equipment. I mean, I opted for very expensive high quality fighter aircraft. 36 is expensive for a fighter. But I don't have a lot of fuel to spare. So even with everything I'm doing using light tanks, expensive fighters instead of large numbers of cheaper fighters. Navy import, I'm still running low on fuel. I need more oil. Ooh. Some of the trade deals of Romania fell through. Okay. Oh, January 15th came in when I missed chance to avoid some overflow. Oh well, they just completed something it just hasn't updated yet. Their engine, again, the oil, on the steel in Morava. Definitely get put to use after Bulgaria annexes them. Awful lot of need for steel and probably have to import a bit. This has been going for an hour. Okay, I've been going too long. Yeah, there's not tons of steel in the Balkans. Rather, not industry make lots of steel. Days in that infrastructure. Which also slightly enhanced my tungsten, because I have resource rights here. That's one of the other reasons I can go for like Panzer Warfare instead went for more focused infantry artillery. It's easier on the oil supplies. Might be a little more powerful with the oil, but I don't have the oil. There's no way to force Romania to develop its oil. Even in a faction with them, they don't like to. They often don't give me enough. Austria is eventually going to attack me, so I don't really like buying oil from them if I can help it. Don't want them to be too much of an industrial behemoth if they do that before I'm ready for it. Of course, the British will eventually conquer India, but the British aren't actually a threat to me. They won't attack me on an online path. At least not for a long time. Eventually they'll even offer me a non-interference treaty that I haven't done it yet. Other focuses they need are gated behind it. Like attacking the Soviets. And they want to do that, or attacking the Italians. Or attacking Iran and Afghanistan. That'll also give me a warning when they're about to do that stuff. Cool. Another ace. Do I have any third level aces, or if I just been acquiring level 1 and 2s? 1 and 2s. What do you? Curiosity? These guys are all using the old HE111s. I need to buy more rubber. That's not helping. Choose Hungary, who will probably join the European Union before long. British Malaya, which requires... Where's Siam? Guess it'll be Siamese rubber for now. Because too many other nations are buying rubber. The French currently. This is one more reason I'm doing all the refineries. should already be producing, I think. Yep, thanks industrial expansion, 2 rubber each. And I'll upgrade that with tech soon enough. Refineries are a long-term investment that haven't even started paying off versus building mill yet. And using that to add more artillery and stuff. Heat here is I can't select the front that these guys have. What? Why is it trying through there? I don't. That's dumb. Anyhow, like, this is a case of invisible front line. It's not going to let me select or anything. I know it's there, but knowing I can't expand it. Just have to delete everything this army has. Annoying as heck, that. This is on the Maginot, so there's really no chance this getting attacked. This is just in case the French do something dumb. Ban it. I don't think I can afford to keep putting men there. I'm never going to close this gap. I need more men. They're not training. Oh, actually, I need some more divisions using artillery. I'll stay put for now. In fact, I'll swap to this. Eventually I'll pull them off and use them to attack here, but imagine it's a safe place where they won't get attacked while they're training, I suppose. I don't have enough ore to hold anything. These guys in Bitburg are still training, and got guys in Trier. There we go. Just so I can see the Colonial front line. Attack here, I'm pretty sure there's probably like 20 infantry in R1. Exaggerating, but not that much. Guy's no longer sick. These guys are trained up enough. I'll attack Poznan. Take it, establish a defensive line. Instead of these two forests, this forest and this city. In doing so, deny the Polish some factories and manpower, but so it's just better defensive terrain. It's even got a supply hub, although I'll have to connect it. Actually, there is a river, so we should technically connect to Silo by river. What the heck? These guys don't even have full supply, probably because of guess it wouldn't hurt to put a couple divisions up there. might help with the supply situation. Yep. Couple motorized too. If things get really desperate here, I can rush divisions. And this just turned red for the first time ever. It's not like they have air superiority. Another ace, awesome. Another convoy lost, unfortunately. Training up admirals for the Soviets, I guess. Fortunately, maybe some Polish admirals too, who will actually help me once I take the Dutch down, puppet them. No, you can't join the war. Oh no. Advantage of mobility. So I can pull men to wherever their need along our front line. They always have to return after is the problem. And the Romanians have just decided to sell all their oil to someone else. Oh, something must happen. The oil refineries got bombed. There is a thing to raid the oil fields. It's a mission. I guess it succeeded. That's lovely. It's gonna create serious issues. Oil in Yugoslavia. If only these guys had bloody taken that instead of motorized logistics. AI is not smart. Oh, the heck? Somehow it got down to just one division defending here. They have decent numbers of military factories. Yeah, they just don't know how to use them. Often they'll switch production lines over and over, so they never build any production efficiency. It's stupid. Something I've repeatedly asked the devs of this game to fix, and they never do. I've posted about it on the forums before. They ignore far too many player suggestions, feedback. They don't properly bug test their games. So and another convoy getting raided by Polish subs. Far too many admirals. This game are just loaded up with traits. Like, making the traits almost meaningless and make it impossible to train new admirals to being good. Maybe that's supposed to represent naval traditions taking a long time to build. Still, how would people get so skilled if they weren't seeing much combat? Years of peace did not make great leaders make great military leaders. And my buddy glasses completely fell apart. Oh, God. This is ridiculous. Something I shouldn't have to live with at all, but halfway starting to think some of the online things people said about this place that got classes were black marketing. That's where they hire someone to say positive things aren't actually true about them online. It's a company, they'll do it. Should be illegal, but there's no enforcement for white collar crime. Corporations are allowed to just like fill Yelp reviews and stuff with fake reviews. It's extremely frustrating. And yeah, it's making a dumb suicidal attack. Hopefully. Well, at least I'm getting a ridiculous number of aces. Too bad it doesn't get war support anymore. For those who don't know, used to be you'd get war support every time you got an ace, lose it every time. Base war support every time an ace got shot down. Making war support so that you could actually get up to 100% with any nation. If you train enough aces and didn't risk them, like, brought them back from the front so they didn't die. I don't see how a research facility secure access to more chromium or tungsten or whatever. Almost out of fuel here because the Romanian oil field's getting bombed. quality. I'll have to buy this Romanian oil, even though it's not a full 8. Gonna have to pause training of these guys. Still have the oil for it for the moment. Almost all up to trained. A little more training. They could be used to attack. Since I really need every advantage I can get. Taking that would allow me to prepare to deal with the Dutch and swing this war in my favor. I think I'm gonna have to risk some convoys buying British oil. As much as it sucks. Can't do it for long, but at least they're smart enough to avoid the English Channel. Thanks to this yellow zone. If I had some naval bombers, I could patrol the East North Sea to actually deal with some of these enemy. And the French are just randomly shuffling divisions through the North Sea, getting them killed. Because the AI loves to do that. In fact, that makes it a massive penalty. Anything you ever do that allies you bring in, whatever, that might create that shuffling effect. Like the other side isn't doing that at all, so they're not losing men, just mine. The AI is incredibly dumb. Alright. The oil situation. I'm gonna have to relax in the fighter production because there's no way I'm gonna have enough oil. Have to do fewer lines running longer, it looks like. I need some of that too. Next up, I guess more artillery. Or light tanks. They're at least easier in the oil than aircraft. What the hell are the Yugoslavians doing? I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try sending divisions around by sea. Because apparently they're too dumb to list this as off limits. Do this for myself, but it won't affect the AI. At least as a warning zone. my supplies well. Maybe I should make some naval bombers, but the basic ones don't have the range that's needed for the North Sea. Really need to do something based on Myanmar frame, probably. You know, you get weird stuff with that. You know, I don't have the fuel. Couldn't make a variant of this. No. Let's see, if I did that, it'd be 12. Probably need extra fuel tanks. 12 air XP. I just create something from scratch. Let's see. Third slots, dive break. I mean, drop tanks. Probably the same, so it's easier to compare my designs. This gives them a bit of speed so they can get away if they come under attack. Light machine gun is useful too if there are any enemy fighters. See? Especially when can't more ones drop tanks, can you? You can actually. Um, $16 air experience. Yeah, no, I'm better basing off this. 12. Make sure I'm saving something new. I guess I could save an intermediate version here that's yeah, I wouldn't get rid of dive breaks, that'd be dumb. Any actual cats I use will have dive breaks for sure. Oh, I know what I'll do. Cheaper cast design. Save as an intermediate. Or agile, for what it's worth. Agility only helps if you haven't built agility advantage, so it's not useful, but cheaper. Would I ever realistically produce this, though? Probably not. So I wanted a trainer aircraft, and then I'd probably produce like this. Just need a cast trainer. But they need the bomb bay to be able to perform port strikes. Otherwise, it's not the same type. What? No, this is the junk. There we go. Range or range reliability. Probably need reliability so they don't crash in bad weather. So air defense helps. An extra naval attack. This doesn't have enough range though. So here we go. Call it E for extended range. For some smaller sea zones, at times I won't need the extra fuel tanks, so the other still exists. It may also be useful as a trainer. A little bit cheaper without the extra fuel tanks. There we go. I'll grow this. Now they make a variety of things, including eventually transport planes. It'll take a while, but if I set 6 factories on production of naval bombers, I might actually get them in time to reestablish sea routes. Things go badly. I'll need them someday anyways against like the British. What fun. Oh, shoot. Haven't produced any yet, so hopefully it'll let me. I promise they don't have. I feel like that kind of looks like. I don't know what that's miles based on, but it might be a actual cast. Mentally, I'll think. Look at that. Think. Oh, that's some kind of naval bomber. Did I say cast? I don't know what it's based on. Cast, naval bomber, something. Like maybe it's a torpedo pod below. Looks like it might be an extra fuel tank or a parasitic aircraft, but whatever. Start production of those naval bombers very soon. And maybe someday I'll be able to whittle down these fleets a little. I mean, I didn't want to do that, but it's looking like capitulating the Dutch is going to take a while. It's got so many divisions dug in here. Maybe if I need more artillery in this front. Problem is I don't have enough divisions to train up too many guys at once with artillery, otherwise they suffer attacks. But that might get me closer to being able to actually just push, especially with these guys. Jeez. I was thinking I was going to lose here, but the AI just decided to send 1,000,000 divisions to avoid losing that province. Whatever. At least the trucks are where they have fuel now. They could almost attack here. Almost. Let's replace some losses. Doing this, of course, for the research slot. not for the resources, the electronic bonus. I've been subsisting on just 4 slots for way too long. I should get my 5th slot. I'll grow my MIOs and stuff. Oh, what now? Now the Romanians won't even give me a full load of oil. Apparently I'm getting 7 of the 8 though. That's enough to still keep buying. There's more to buy from Iran now. May strategically redeploy these guys here soon and make that push on Poznan. Recontinue the training. Looks like going down the political tree. The Kashubians. And the Democratic Prussia. I do find the whole collectivist has those anti-democracy. The thing problematic, in fact, what they consider democracy in this game is really capitalism. Yes, historically, Soviet Union might not be considered so democratic, although they actually had many forms of popular political participation, workers' councils and stuff. But you did actually elect local representatives who held very little power, and they elected people higher up who held more power, and they in turn elected people who had real power. So there actually was a system. It was one party, but you actually did have competitive mass meetings, which are basically primaries. So more democracy than people think, but it got subverted over time. The system was too complex, and that complexity caused issues. People don't understand how the system worked. They just started often at the mass meetings, too often going with who the party recommended, because very frequent elections of, I mean, if anyone's ever participated in local politics, like the US knows, nobody knows who the local politicians are. And if they don't hold any real power, especially, if their job is to elect people who elect people with power, people just don't care. So it wasn't a very functional system, but it was an attempt at democracy, just a flawed one. But something like the Spartacus League would, if its ideals had ever been revived, would have been much more functional democracy. Socialism is not antagonistic to democracy. By socialism, I mean the Marxist transitional state towards communism being the utopia at the end of the rainbow. That's what people who draw this socialism, communism, and they line and say that the Soviet Union was communist, usually they're using the terms in a vernacular way, or they don't understand what they mean. The Soviet Union was not communism. Communism is actually technically it gets complicated. Their ideology was communist, but their system was not communist. Communist system would refer to a system that had transcended the need for government for the most part. It would look more similar to an anarchist society. In fact, anarchists try to skip the transitional phase and go straight to communism. At least those who are Marxists. There's other anarchist traditions that have nothing to do with Marx. Just as there's actually socialist traditions that have nothing to do with Marx as well. Some of the Christian socialist movements, the utopian socialist movements. There's a lot of leftist ideologies out there, and people use the terms very inaccurately. You practically need a PhD to understand them all correctly. Most of the systems have never been tried. Only been a few very specific versions of socialism. Rawl has been shut down. I think he was the guy with the missing portrait, so I don't miss him. Yep, he was. It won't let me assign a new ace for a little while, because I can't select the portrait. Though, unless this is going to be kind of cheeky. I assign him to, can I assign him because KI? I'm going to assign him into span the air wing, just because this is ridiculous. The missing portrait thing. Whatever. But there haven't really ever been any Christian socialist societies, for instance, which is a ideology that's not really actually based on Marx. Usually some Christian socialists are Marxist, but there's several parallel traditions of it. There haven't really been any anarchist societies, which can be considered a socialist tradition. There haven't been any democratic socialist societies that lasted more than a couple of years because they were invaded by the United States or the French carried out an assassination, or without going to each and every example, they were almost immediately subverted by foreign intelligence agencies. And any time the system fails, it's foreign intelligence. If someone literally gets murdered, assassinated, that's clearly not something that just naturally happened. Assassins don't come out of thin air and kill people. And when that assassin can be traced clearly back to an intelligence agency, that was a foreign sponsored assassination. There's zero doubt about that. I'm referring in that case to Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso, who came to power through a military coup, yes, but then tried to establish an actual democratic social state with multi-party elections, as well as nationalizing industries. He was wrongly smeared as, he's just a communist, as in Marxist-Leninist. Some people, throw around the term Stalinist and stuff, even though Stalin was dead by this point in history. And the other really big example was in Chile, where a democratic socialist was elected president of a country. The CIA immediately started planning a coup. It's very well documented. Nixon's conversations with the State Department and CIA about it, because Nixon had this love of recording himself. That's how we know a lot about Watergate. He talked about making Chile scream and trying to cause a popular uprising. When that failed, the CIA turned to trying to get the generals to carry out a coup. That failed because there was a high-ranking general who was believed the military had no role in getting rid of a legitimately elected government, even though he didn't like the guy who had been elected. So the CIA went to assassinate the guy after the failed coup attempt, and then carried out another coup attempt. This is after first trying to instigate an uprising that failed, then the failed coup, then they assassinated several generals. There's a very clear paper trail that the CIA assassinated these generals, or rather pay people to do it. It wasn't actual CIA agents, but when you pay someone to kill someone, it's the same as doing it yourself. And then after that general was assassinated, then they instigated a military coup and put Pinochet in power, who was a brutal dictator. And that was one of the handful of examples of a democratic social society ever existed. There's, I think, one other that's often forgotten. So there have been 3 in world history, and every time they were subject to coup or assassination or, yeah. The only anarchist societies ever existed briefly were in Catalonia, Spain, during the Spanish Civil War. Ukraine, briefly, during the Russian Revolution. There were some pockets of anarchist societies, although they were never as big as the Bolshevik-controlled areas in Ukraine during the Russian Civil War. And very briefly, you actually even saw little bits of anarchism pop up during the current Ukraine war, before the Russians and the Ukrainian government reasserted control of those areas. But there were some attempts to establish anarchist rule of certain areas during the civil wars, or off to an anarchist grab control, and then they lose it because they're not good at fielding an actual military to defend their gains. That's a repeating motif in history. See any aircraft anywhere except down like here and here. I'm low on fuel, so I should send them where they can actually detect enemy aircraft, which would be here. Send to Mutinia. Put them on air superiority. Give them a up to ace. Cool. But yeah, Christian social societies never existed. Anarchist societies barely exist. Democratic social societies, CIA coups and assassinations. And Sankara was murdered by the French, actually, but with CIA help. They basically found a close friend who was power hungry of Sankara, that Sankara made the mistake of trusting, and they put him up to assassinating Sankara and taking control of the government of Burkina Faso himself. It's well documented that there was foreign, although it can't be conclusively proven it was the French. All fingers point to it being the French, being the foreigners who put that guy up to it. It was definitely some kind of Western intelligence, but people argue about what nation did it. Was it the French? Was it the British? Was it the Americans? It was probably a multi-country effort, but the French were the most primarily responsible because Burkina Faso was a French colony. In fact, it's right. Where is it? Here. This is modern Burkina Faso, Upper Volta. This state. Why is it partly controlled by? Oh, that's Ghana. It's just the river made it look like that. I believe, yeah, that would be the flag of Burkina Faso. Yeah, Niger's up there. It's a mostly desert country, not very populous, but it was a French colony, and the French, after World War II, the British, they spun off the areas largely what's French and British here on this map, and dominated those areas with their companies. Even after the country's nominally independence, their corporations dominated the economies, controlled the resources that had been stolen through warfare in the first place, claimed it was their rightful due, controlled obviously factories that were sometimes built with labor that was forced into, forced labor at gunpoint at one point, decades or generations ago. Now this was legitimate capital. Can't even argue that it was someone's worked up hard, saved money. No, this was murder, theft, and conquest capital. And if the country's ever tried to nationalize those industries, whether left or right-wing government, assassinations or coups would just mysteriously happen. That's brutal, and that's what people are talking about when they talk about neocolonialism. The countries are technically independent, but they're really not. They'd almost be like what's puppet governments in this game. Economically, they have very little control over their own economies. Anyways, I'm running out of steam here. This video has been going on for over 2 hours. That's a long time. Even though OBS keeps the file sizes a little more reasonable, if I set the bit rate to 15 megabytes per second, I think it is. It's a lot. Still a large file, so I am going to cut the video here. I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And don't mind my flapping my jaws here. I'm tired and I'm probably not making a lot of sense. I wish you all the best. And may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Adieu.